Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to the breakout session here. My name is Parker. I am going to be moderating. This is Kuali Build, Power Your Forms, Streamline Your Workflow by Joel Heron. There's going to be time at the end for questions and answers. So Joel is the team lead for low-code solutions in Do It. When not managing infrastructure and helping developers for LCS, you can find him building new sets for his Star Wars Lego collection, on the golf course, probably not building sets at that time, or in a ballroom somewhere being an Irish dance dad. Without further ado, Quality Build, Power Your Forms, Streamline Your Workflow.
Thanks, Parker. All right, so yes, I am from Low Code. So, is it going to work now? No, we're not working. No clicker. Oh, and I don't have my mic on.
Try turning it off and back on.
There we go. So I'm from Low Code Solutions to Do It. We offer two products, Quality Builders I'm talking about today, and our other product is Betty Blocks, which is a online web-based application development platform. And so let's get straight into it. So Quality Build is a workflow tool that has forms, has workflow. Think of it more of I like to call it Qualtrics on steroids. So it has all the features, nice form builder. So, it has drop and drag experience. We have a wide range of field types, which they call gadgets. And you can have everything from text fields all the way to things like forms or tables where you can actually add more things. People can add things to the form. Repeaters where you can have I want the same person to add multiple different things, things that you wouldn't necessarily get in other experiences. One of the nice things about Quali is that it is 100% WCAG 2.1 AA compliant, both on the IDE side and the builder side. In fact, the nice thing about Quali is they deem that any accessibility issue is a bug and they will fix it highest priority. So that is one thing we like about Quali. They are higher ed only, and so that's what we like about them. The other thing, as far as conditional logic, so if you want to be able to show a field only when another field is selected or when a certain value, it has those capabilities. It can do some arithmetic, basic arithmetic. We're not, it's not NumPy, and you're not going to be able to do some high correlation or anything like that. But it does have that capability. The other thing I really like about it is its ability to section content off. So a lot of times you need somebody to fill out a form and you have them, you want to fill, section A, section B, and you can do that within Quali. You can also take those sections and make them pages. So if I want to say I have a really long form, I need to break it up into pages, you can break it up into pages, and then as they go through the form, they can go through those in a nice page manner. It also has a thing called office-only sections where, let's say through my workflow, I need, the initial submitter to fill out a number of items. But then someone else in my workflow also needs to add some content to that document, if you will. And you can do that through Quali. You can basically say this section is for office use only. And then later on in that workflow, you can say, oh, I want this particular group to edit this only content. And you can do it back and forth. You can make any section in the application or form viewable in your workflows or not viewable. Or let's say you don't want anybody to see any of it after a certain point, you can block that out. All right. Forms can also use integrations. So you can do things like you're already logged in, we already know who you are, and you can autofill people's information directly onto your form, like NetID, email address, those types of things auto-filled out for you to be able to use later. We can also pull in from integrations as well. So things like we're working on integrating things like Person API, HR API to pull people's information from those things, as well as you can pull data from other Quali apps. So let's say we have an app that does all the terms. So you need to pull in what academic term it currently is. We have an app that can do just that and pull into your form and say, here's the current academic term, pull information so you don't have to have somebody type in their term every single time, something like that. Let's see. All right. The other really nice thing I like about Quali's form builder is that it allows you to preview your stuff immediately. So you can go, you can preview it, you can walk through your entire form without having to create fake documents, right? It's all in preview. There's no actual content saved. You can preview, see how your conditionals work, see if it flows the way you want it to, all from the IDE without having to kind of flow through them. And make fake documents, things like that. All right. Now onto workflows. I think we can all think of a process that uses either paper forms, PDFs that get either put in folders and shoved around places or in email and get sent off people's inboxes. And no one has any idea where those are, what state they're in, who owns the thing, where that thing's all lost. And in Kuali, we have the ability to put tracking on all of that. So when you just have an approval out, you can say, oh, I know exactly what step this process is on. And we can also send reminders. So if you have you want to send a reminder after 7 days, you can do that. And they'll constantly ping that person until they actually do the task or approval that you want them to do. And there's a lot of nice thing about approvals as well as like, a lot of times you have like, I need to approve, and this one person is always going to approve this. I'm going to set them up and they can approve it. And you can do that. You can also set up groups for approval. So I need a round robin group where if anyone in this group approves, it's good to go. Or maybe you have something more customizable where you want something like, 2/3 of this group needs to approve this before it can move to the next step. You can do that. Or you can say everyone in this group needs to approve it before it goes to the next step. You can do that as well. It has support for things like pushback. So you're like, oh, I didn't like this. You need to edit your stuff. You can push it back to that person to, edit their content. You can also fully deny and then send them a denial email response and say, hey, this isn't really what I was looking for. As well, here we go. Okay. Notifications. So notifications, a big part of workflows is notifying people when they need to do something or when they need to apply or approve something. And Kuali has that built in by default. All you have to do is first-class citizen. You just drag it onto your thing, say, I want to notify somebody, and then say, who do you want to notify? And you can pull anything from anything on the form. So anything in the form fields, anything in the form metadata, you can add that directly into the emails, the subjects, the bodies. You can add that directly in there, and that gets sent off and back. As well, there's another option called acknowledgements. Sometimes you have a part in a process where somebody just needs to know about it. This thing happened, but they don't need to do anything else. They just need to know that it happened. I think a perfect example of that is in one of our own forms, we notify data stewards when someone's asking for a new application in Kuali or Betty Blocks that has like FERPA or HIPAA data. Well, somebody needs to know about that. They may not 100% care because maybe they'll determine, oh, well, this person already put in a request for that for cybersecurity or something like that. But they may care. And so we're just acknowledging them. They don't have to come into Kuali and do anything. They're just getting an email saying this happened. So that's an option in Kuali as well. And obviously, the next part of big things is integration. So you can do a lot of things to get data out of Kuali. If natively supports, when you're done with your form, you can automatically get like CSV files out. So if you need to get all your files, all your responses, you can pull those out. You can even set views. Like I only want, you can filter your stuff and then only that exact filter out and make that the CSV you get out. You can also send PDFs. So like at the end of it, let's say I have a process that completes, and now I want just like the record of what happened. So maybe I need to, example is, we have a couple of people who build forms in Kuali that, are for Workday. And you need a record put into Workday saying this transaction happened or this approval got signed off on. And they're using Kuali's PDF capability to make that record, that note of record to say, okay, this happened. Now I'm done with it. But we can also do things with integrations outside of that where it is fully API compliant. So we can do API integrations as well as exports out. So if you have something like, we're working on something right now for a college of LNS where they are integrating with an LLM and pulling data out and getting responses and pulling it right back into the system. And so that's something that can also be done if you have an API that's compliant. So, time, okay. All right. And obviously we help you. If there are those complex things, we help you with those integrations. That's part of our team's, well, my role in our team is to help build integrations, make sure you're doing really nicely. So, all right. I know this has been quick, but hopefully you've kind of seen the potential of Kuali Build, what it can kind of do. Obviously, if you have more questions, we'll have questions in just a second, but I do have one more thing. And it is AI related. as many of the great presentations today and tomorrow are, you're seeing a lot of cool things you can do with AI, build with AI. And we noticed that there's one area in our local solutions. People keep coming to us asking or saying, hey, I built this thing with AI. What do I do with it? Where does it go? You know? And so today we want to announce that we are building a service for that. So we're calling it the AI set service. Does anyone know what a set is? Yes. And so it's the home for AI developed applications. And we are looking as the low-code solutions team to provide 4 different areas for this type of thing. One is we're looking for try to provide advice, and as well as my notes, don't mess it up. And tool selection. A lot of times people don't know which AI agent they should use to build something, or they're not sure their use case is the right for AI. And so our team, along with other new areas, are looking to build a bunch of documentation, information about the tools, as well as like, how do I buy the thing? Because that's also a really big problem is how do I acquire this stuff? And so we're looking to put together that as part of our advisory abilities. Second is technical enablement and tools is basically, there's a lot of other tools that wrap around AI, right? From MCP servers to CLIs to how do I actually make sure that my development environment is secure? How do I build that into my local development environment? And so those are some of the things that we are looking to help provide as well in terms of we're already working with cybersecurity on validating some of the installation methods and things on how we manage the agents on your local device. And so we'll also be doing that as well. We're also looking to help people get started. How do I make sure that the AI is writing accessible code, using UW brand standards, making sure that it's actually writing good code? That's not easy. And so what we're looking to do as well is provide skills, providing prompt libraries, and also looking for collaboration on those things. Find a good skill, find a good prompt that helps steer your agent in the correct way to make something. We're actually looking for help for that as well. And then lastly, we're looking to set up templates. So, I know I'm going to build a web application that does this. Setting up templates that already have the skills, already have that kind of pre-built in stuff so that when you go into your agent the first time, you're getting the proper stuff out from the first prompt. And last but not least, a managed hosting solution. So we are going to be building I've already engaged both the Office of Cybersecurity and cloud teams to help us design and deliver a enterprise-grade hosting environment for these applications. Our goal is to span the entire life cycle from you being done, pushing your commit to your repository, all the way through dev, staging, all the way to production. And then, at some point, every application dies. How do we get that out of there? How do we make sure that things are running securely, stay secure, and also meet your uptime requirements? So, as well, we're also looking to support all 4 categories of data classification, including HIPAA and FERPA. So that's my number one next thing. I'm sure there'll be these, so we can take some questions for the next 13 minutes.
Everyone, just give me a round of applause for Joel here. And if anybody has questions in the room, just raise your hand. I can run the mic over to you, so everybody online can hear as well. You're getting claps in the Zoom.
Thank you.
First question here.
Could you tell us which, for Kuali build particularly, what are the target systems you've already built integrations to?
So we have integrations for Kuali build into Manifest. So if you want to have automatic manifest group creation, we can do that. So you can manage all your groups in Kuali. You can have groups, build your groups in Manifest, and then automatically provision those as roles inside of Kuali groups. We also have an integration with, I'm trying to think what we have integration with in Kuali right now. custom build a couple called custom build APIs that we do. Mostly we do it by request. So until somebody has a need for an API integration, we're not just going to randomly build a whole bunch of API integrations. But we are working heavily with College of LNS on a bunch of integrations right now. So that's most of it. But yeah, until people actually ask, we're not really building things. Just we're not building random stuff that people don't need.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah,
Google Workspace.
that is one we're actually looking into. So we can do public Google Sheets and public Google things, but authenticated Google stuff requires Google Cloud and service accounts. And so we are working on how we can potentially do that. We're also looking at how we can potentially integrate with Jira as well. So that's another integration we're looking at. Yeah, that's a good question. Back there.
Make you walk a little bit. Get the exercise.
Getting my steps in. I think every moderator says that at every conference.
My current department is looking at actually putting out a ton of feedback forms in the coming future. And we're looking at our data database, if its functionality is good enough or if it's not. So if it's not, is Kuali a good tool where I could read in very specific, only a few lines of API data into the form that gets sent out to the user? And can I set up those API connections myself?
So if you have the APIs already,
yeah.
We unfortunately the way the administration works, we have to set the integrations up, but we literally can get on a call in 30 minutes, set up your integrations, and you're good to go.
Okay.
So that's not an issue at all. But yeah, it could definitely read in, as long as the JSON output of your API is clean, Kuali will take it, feed it, and you can get it right back out to your forms in no time at all.
Okay. And then can we feed the form data into our own internal database?
If you accept, if we can output from an API, make an API call out to it, yes. You can also read from it too. So it does have a full GraphQL API. And you could also read documents out of as well.
Hey everybody, Joel. It's always nice to see you outside of the Irish dance context. Joel and I are Irish dance parents. I guess I have one really specific question and then maybe a less specific one. I guess the less specific question is like, what does the licensing look like right now and like access for this at UW?
Yeah, so Kuali Build is completely free. There is no licensing. It's essentially enterprise grade environment that also supports FERPA and HIPAA as well. I should have mentioned that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is the first I've heard of it. And I guess my more specific one. So I'm trying to figure out if this would be a good candidate for this. So I have a workflow right now, a bunch of data in Smartsheet, and then I have an integration with DocuSign because we send out a lot of MOUs from our team. And so, it pulls the data from Smartsheet into a template form in DocuSign, sends it out. Is that something that could be done through Kuali? Or I guess maybe based on the first question, maybe we don't have some of the integration you would need in place to like feed in data from other places?
Yeah, I mean, I think the form part of it you could probably do. The integration, it would require a custom integration to get to DocuSign though. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm wondering, can it sort of replicate or maybe do like what DocuSign does, like create a form for you and like send it out? I mean, that's basically what.
To some extent, you'd have to create the form yourself though, because it can't generate a form yet.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. I mean, I have the form, so.
Yeah, you could create a form and then have somebody fill it out. And if you need signatures, it supports signatures. You have other things. Yeah, you could definitely do that potentially.
Okay, cool.
Hey there. So I'm just going to elaborate, I think, what I heard in that interaction, which is if you have questions, you should definitely ask Joel. So do you guys have a name for hey, I need to ask you whether this even makes sense? Is that just called a consultation or?
Yeah, so we're happy to take all your consultations. If you shoot our QR code on the screen, you can get to our website and we have a contact form. You can just fill out our basic contact form and you can get right into us and we return this pretty quickly. So
cool. That sounds great.
Do we have anything online? Any questions online?
We have a couple questions online from what I saw. We can go for those now. Let everybody in the room think a little bit.
Yeah, that is actually a really good point. For those who are looking to get off the smart sheet, Kuali is it can't do everything a smart sheet can do. There's a lot of things smart sheet can do that it can't do, but we are seeing a big uptick in Kuali uptake just because of the pricing issues that smart sheet has for sure.
And from Jennifer Online, is there a way for users submitting their information in the form to go back in later to edit their information or update it?
Yes. So there is a thing called versions where basically like a document can get versioned. And you can either use it again or you can go back in and edit forms. So yeah, there's basically like a my forms section and you can go back into it and potentially edit it depending on how the workflow allows you to do so. But yeah, generally you can.
Amazing. From Jim, do you have examples of apps that have been built with Kuali at UW?
Yeah, so we have 12 apps in production right now. I think a few other being worked on, but one of them is we have 2 apps now that are built just for taking we're seeing a ton of this usage is taking enhancement requests for Workday. So we have one on finance, we have one in HR. Both of those are coming out of central HR and central finance. The College of LNS, and I'll pick on Eddie back there because I see him. They are using it for a number of stuff in LNS and continue to build out stuff and build some really good stuff. So shout out to those guys. They're big quality users. Yeah, for everything from tracking expense reports to hiring information stuff. So all across the board.
Great. One more online from what I can see at the moment. Any word on CAPTCHA or similar spam prevention for anonymous forms / workflows?
That is currently something they do not have is CAPTCHA support. We do have an enhancement request in for that sort of thing, but they do not currently have it. But they do support external. But mostly we're seeing it mostly for authenticated users. But yeah, you can't use public forms. I think there was a question.
That was my question.
Okay. Any other questions? Perfect.
Amazing. Well, everybody, if you could please again join me in giving a big round of applause to Joel for that. Plenty of claps in the chat here, and the next session will take place within the next 15 to 20 minutes. So thanks for attending.
Thank you, everybody.